2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast.
Today, March 5th. A lot of stuff going on. So, notable people that were born today. American actress Ava Mendes.
Who?
Ava Mendes.
Oh, she's a smoke show.
You know who she is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was in Training Day, wasn't she?
She was in Training Day.
Yeah, she's pretty.
You can see her knockers in the background on Training Day. I don't know. I've seen several movies of hers.
Isn't she in Women, too?
The Women.
You've never seen that show? It's all women.
Never.
The whole show is just women, and it's her and what's the chick with the big knockers that's on that's married to the baseball player? The chick
Kate Upton?
from where Boss is from. Yeah, Kate Upton.
No, she was not in that. That was Kate Upton, Cameron Diaz, and...
Okay, well, anyways, I thought she was the girlfriend or something in it.
No,
The other
Kate Upton's the girlfriend.
I thought that
I
she
think
was
Cameron Diaz is the wife, and Kate Upton's the girlfriend. I thought he had 3. I don't know. I don't.
Dude's
really
living a pretty
remember
good life, though, if that's his...
Yeah,
Pretty doing well for himself.
Yeah, so if she was born today, if you want to see her knockers, go watch Training Day. At the very end, when Denzel Washington's in the back right before the big confrontation and King Kong ain't got shit on me, you can see her naked in the background. Pretty nice lady. Also born today, King Henry II. Don't know much about him. He was born in 1133, went on to be the King of England. So congratulations. Now, people that have died today. Hugo Chavez, Venezuelan leader. He died in 2013. And the guy that I really want to focus on, Joseph Stalin, died on this day in 1953. Now, here's what most people don't realize. Everybody knows about World War II and the atrocities that Hitler perpetrated. But do you know that Stalin is actually responsible for more deaths than Hitler was?
Yeah, because he...
And Mao was responsible for more deaths than any of them. But that does not get taught over here for some reason. And I don't really know why. Do you know why? Because I don't know why. I guess because Russian history is kind of hard to wrap your head around.
Just a different... It's not as important to us, and it should be.
I mean, but
it doesn't play on everybody's heartstrings.
Mass famine and purges and forced labor camps?
Everybody doesn't... The Nazis and the Russians were so vile to each other that they don't care.
But did you know that we were actually not aligned, but we were...
with Russia.
We were with Russia.
Yeah, and it was a race to get all the nuclear scientists. Yes, I grew up in the Cold War. I know all about that.
Right.
Yeah, that was a big... and then Russia and us were allies.
Out of necessity.
Well,
not out of
bingo.
Need.
We used Russia.
Right.
We got Russia to take most of the brunt of the German forces. If the German forces wouldn't have went to Russia and they'd have taken all those people, the people in England would be eating sauerkraut today.
Because, I mean, that's basically one of how Hitler kind of screwed up is he fought a battle on 2 fronts.
Yep.
Instead of focusing on
if he would have just
winning one and then doing the other.
France would still
But I don't know that they thought that the United States would get involved. I think he kind of thought he could take Europe and then keep fighting the Russian front and kind of keep both going. And I think when the U.S. got in, it screwed everything up.
That's why the conspiracy theory is about Pearl Harbor was a set-up deal.
To get us in?
To get us to the war.
It worked.
Yep.
So Mao, Mao was responsible for 80 million deaths, Stalin 30, and Hitler right around 20. So both.
How many?
80 for Mao, 30 for Stalin.
80 million?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mass. Most deaths were caused primarily due to starvation during the Great Leap Forward in China. Stalin, he had forced labor camps. A book that I think everybody should read is from Alexander Solzhenitsyn, The Gulag Archipelago. He was a political prisoner during Stalin's reign, and he had to go to the famous Gulag. It's a fascinating read, and you get to hear just about all of the... It was not an easy life. So I pulled up some of the things here that they went through in the Gulag. Okay, so they used slave labor, political repression, and terrorizing the Soviet population into submission. Many of the camps were located in Siberia, where temperatures dropped to 40 below. That's Fahrenheit and Celsius. Prisoners worked 12 to 16-hour days on dangerous projects like mining, logging, and railroad construction. Clothing was inadequate. A lot of people would starve to death or freeze to death and malnourish there wasn't enough food. It was rampant. Like you had a thin bowl of gruel every single day. Food rations were barely enough to survive, and typhus, dysentery, and tuberculosis spread through the gulag. Many prisoners froze to death, starved, or were executed. So that is Stalin. Now, on to events that happened today. So ironically, talking about Stalin, after World War II ends, Winston Churchill delivers his Iron Curtain speech, which starts the Cold War between us and Russia. But the big incident that happened today, the Boston Massacre. Poor Tony got to go all the way up to Boston, first time in Boston. He wanted to see where the Boston Massacre happened, and you didn't show him.
No, it was where the Boston Tea Party happened.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, and we were standing right there.
Oh.
We parked right there at the Hilton, and that's where it happened.
So late in the afternoon of March 5th, 1770, British sentries guarded the Boston Custom House and shot into a crowd of civilians, killing 3 men, injuring 8, and 2 of them were mortally wounded. So
you've been right there too.
At the Boston Massacre, the custom or the
you know where we was at Quincy Market,
Custom House,
right before we got to it. It's that building right in the middle.
No, I did not know that. So what's funny is we call it the Boston Massacre, but in Britain they've got a totally different name for it.
What do they call it?
It's the incident on King Street is what they call it.
The incident on King Street.
Yeah. The British refer to the Boston Massacre as the incident on King Street. So they take a little bit of a lighter approach. Do you know who the first person was to be born to die at the Boston Massacre?
Was it a black man?
It was a black man. African American sailor Crispus Attucks was the first to fall, and he is the first victim or the first hero of the American Revolution. Black guy. It is thought that he likely escaped slavery around 1750 and spent the next 20 years working in the shipyard.
His name was Crispus Attucks.
Crispus Attucks. Attucks.
Yes.
Attucks.
Forgotten man in history.
Maybe not. Stamp Act and the Townshend Act were 2 of the things that kind of pissed us off. We were, no taxation without representation, and
kind of like now.
Yeah, like now. So that is what pretty much sparked the American Revolution.
Interesting
happened
facts.
today.
Happened today.
Boston, Massachusetts.
In what year was it?
1770.
1770. It's funny, a lot of people think that all our history started in 1776. And
no.
There's a lot of stuff 100 years before that happened.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at least.
God bless the USA, babe.
That's right.
Great place to be. We're lucky.
And now, so I pulled up some things. So the Stamp Act, it was all on paper goods. So anything that had paper printed on it was going to get taxed. So let's see here. How much did it cost? Newspaper were half a penny per sheet, which back then was quite a bit. A playing deck of cards was 1 shilling per pack. Now, a shilling is roughly equivalent to $5 to $10 today. So you had that on top of your playing cards. Dice were 10 shillings per set. So a lot of money back then, especially when you figure 1 shilling is worth $5 to $10 today. So I can see why they were pissed off. You couldn't roll dice anymore. Everybody wants to roll dice. But anyway, that's March 5th.
March 5th. Thank y'all for listening to us. Go check out Boss and the new unleaded dove load. Good for the economy and knocks the piss out of the birds. Thank you. God bless you and have a great day.
Watch for deer.